You're watching the Nike EYBL Scholastic Conference Tournament at the Riverview Park Activities Center in North Augusta, South Carolina. And we're ready for our second game of the day. The winner will face the number 1 seed, Wasatch Academy. So it's AZ Compass and Link in a matchup of two teams that feature a lot of beef up front. The conference tournament season, oftentimes guard play is what dominates, but this is a game that will be won in the front court.
Absolutely. Both of these teams have amazing front courts, and they have a little bit of both of what you can have on the front court. This AZ Compass team has shooters at the big position, and then Link has a dominant center and Sinak who could really get it done at all fronts in the front court.
Yeah, you'll be hearing Chris Sinak's name a ton today as AZ Compass faces Link Academy for the second time this year. And now let's meet these two teams as we have Mika Murinen, the House Brothers, and AZ Compass taking on Link. And here's the starting lineup for Pete Caffey's team. Murinen all the way on the right, one of the best players in the junior class.
Yeah, he's a pick and pop center that can really shoot it, but he also can score in the painted area, has some bag work in the post area.
And meanwhile, for Link Academy, first-year head coach Chad Myers has a gem in Chris Sinak and a really under-the-radar guard in Jerry Easter.
Yeah, Jerry Easter is one of the best passers in the Scholastic League, averaging almost 5 assists per game, 42nd ranked senior in the 2025 class.
Link Academy, the 8th seed. AZ Compass, the 9 seed. Winner faces Wasatch tomorrow. As in our first game of the day, a massive Lehigh comeback, storming back from a double-digit deficit. They booked their ticket to face Brewster. Here we go, our second game of the day, and the tip won by Link. Jerry Easter going downhill to the can and fouled just 6 seconds in. So free throws coming for Mr. Easter.
Yeah, Easter is one of the more explosive guards you'll see. Just a great job of getting downhill, attacking against the unset defense. Usually teams kind of ease their way into the game after the tip ball.
Jerry Easter, USC bound. The number 9 point guard in the senior class. One of the best assist men in the EYBL.
It's a young man who attended USA basketball summer of 2023 and 2024 from Ohio Red. This is AAU team.
Now here comes AZ Compass. Jeremiah Green, House to Murinen. You got a couple Houses in the starting lineup, both the sons of Eddie House, and that's Caden with the first bucket for AZ Compass.
It's a nice drop dribble into a crossover, a little hesitation before the cross to get to that mid-range.
And Davion Hanna threw it out of bounds off of Caden House, so we'll stay here. Yeah, those House brothers, so dynamic. Their dad, Eddie House, their uncle, Mike Bibby. Yep. So basketball in their blood as Sinak misses up front. Here comes Green. These two teams last met February 7th. It was an AZ Compass 61-44 win. So for them, it's rinse and repeat. For Link, throw it away. House with the drive, teardrop strong, follows his shot, and now ball on the ground, fighting for it, wrangling it loose, and we got a tie-up. Looks like possession stays here.
That was a good attack there from House, even though he missed the floater. Kind of slowed down his 2 steps as he went up for the floater. It's called a deceleration, something you see a lot more from elite-level players.
And the ball tips to House. Here's Kalick for 3. And the miss boarded by Trent Perry. Well, good to have you with us Round 1, Game 2 of the EYBL Scholastic Tournament. Sam Brief, Trey Demps, and our wonderful crew with you as the winner of this game faces one-seeded Wasatch tomorrow evening. Sanak the kick, 3 for Perry is good.
It's a good job of Sanak gaining control on that one. Murnin kind of pulled the chair, but Sanak gained control of the ball. Never helped strong side corner. That's the easiest shot from that ball comes underneath the basket to the corner. It's like shooting on the shooting machine.
Here's Texas A&M bound Jeremiah Green. Kalick House slicing in. Step back. Ties it at 4.
It's a nice take from House. Playing off of 2 feet. Kind of used the pro hop and then spin back to his left to create space for that mid-range jump shot.
Now Easter gets a screen from Sanak. And a moving screen is called on the big man.
That's something you see so often is the screen is being set, a big kind of starting to roll as he's setting the screen. It's something that a lot of bigs like to do to create an advantage for their guards, but oftentimes gets called for a moving screen.
Now AZ Compass looking to take advantage. Caden House. Green dumps it down low. Murnin was fouled before the shot went up. And they get Sanak for his first.
It's going to be a fun matchup to watch, Murnin versus Sanak. 2 guys who, Murnin in the junior class and Sanak in the senior class, who are the top bigs going head to head.
There goes Murnin dumping it off for House. The drive up and under, and Murnin follows it with the slam.
How about that? Murnin showing a little bit of aggression there, hanging on the rim a little bit. You'd love to see that toughness and grit early on.
Now Sanak goes downhill. Left it short, out of bounds, and it goes to AZ Compass. Well, Mika Murnin, junior out of Jarvenpa, Finland, spent last year at Sunrise Christian. Now he blesses AZ Compass with his talents. The number 4 ranked player in his class.
It's a young man who played on the national team for Finland as a 17-year-old.
Kalick House, strong for 3, out of bounds the other way. Yeah, what makes Murnin so special?
Well, I think you look at him and, traditionally you see someone with his build, you think pick and pop shooter, but he has some toughness to him and he's able to score in the block. We saw Sanak try to kind of play bully ball and Murnin pulled the chair. So he's not a guy that you can kind of just post up and bully. He's going to bring the fight back to you.
Sanak to Easter. Slices in over 3 defenders. And a foul is called. Helps him out. Well, Jerry Easter, another one of the top players who will be off to the Big Ten next year. Playing for USC. Enters as the 9th ranked point guard in the senior class.
And he'll have a chance to play right away. I mean, you look at USC this past year, they had everything except great guard play. And so you look at his build, he's strong. He handles the ball well. He plays with great pace. He's going to have a chance in year 1 to run the show for Coach Musselman.
And he ties it at 6. Top 6 in the EYBL in assists and steals. He's someone who does it on both ends of the floor. Fits right in the Big Ten. Green, shimmying past Sanak. Here's Kalick House. The 3 was blocked by Perry. Now Perry, getting rewarded, gives Link the lead.
We're seeing early on why this is one of the best defensive teams in the Scholastic League, holding teams to 53 points per game. It's the rotation, it's the attention to detail, closeouts, getting a hand on the ball, and then you're able to get out in transition.
And we'll stay here with the ball tipping out. Link Academy, known for their defense. National champions in 2003. And with the win today, they would stay alive in that quest. It's Link and AZ Compass. Back in a moment.
Kobe.
Sure, I was the first pick, the rookie to watch, and the back-to-back All-Star. But to get even better, I had to get real with myself. I got real about how I showed up. I got real about how I trained. I got real about what I ate. The results, something about this season, man, it just feels different.
You're really good too. And back at the EYBL Scholastic tourney. Really smooth game so far. Link and Compass, two teams like to play a little bully ball. Nice flow.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell that this is just shows you how deep this Scholastic League is and the talent. But it's been fun watching the two bigs go at it. The guard play has been great. I feel like you're watching a collegiate game with the attention to detail on the defensive end.
Yeah, there's been some flow too. Only one turnover between the two teams. And that was committed by Link early. So here's Jeremiah Green. He's bound for SEC basketball, Texas A&M next year. A big win for the Aggies last night over Auburn. And here comes Davion Hanna. Feed to Perry for three. And it's boarded by Green. Lazy Compass, 17-point win. First time these two teams met. So you better believe Link coming back with a vengeance. An early lead right now for the Lions. Mika Murnin up top for three, and it's good.
Man, that was great defense from Link. They tried to send the ball to one side of the floor, keep it on the right side of the floor, and Murnin just got out of there and popped. It's good defense with better offense.
Ball tips out of bounds. Murnin can do it inside and outside. He's just such a special talent to watch. And Trey, he's just a junior.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why he's a top 5 guy in his class. You saw how quickly he was able to get that thing off and was kind of flirting with NBA range as he came off that thing. And so you could tell that there's probably going to be some NBA scouts watching him in his future.
And they are wise to do it. Here's Keontae Graybear for Link. Gets the screen from Sinak. Hanna lost the handle and plucked away by Fogel. AZ Compass with momentum, but Fogel a little too much. Easter able to tip it out of bounds. How fast are Jerry Easter's hands?
So quick. I mean, he's long, and look at his build. I mean, he is college ready. It's going to be a matter of the consistency of his outside jump shot is going to be the key to his success.
Well, he's a senior, so it's almost college time. Here's Jacob Wilfer. Some fancy dribbling. Able to get it to Murnin. A 3-ball. No in the corner. Easter. To Sinak. Jerry Easter, the USC-bound point guard, going downhill. Off the glass, rattles it home.
It's a good job. Just a strong take there. And Sinak tried to slip out of that screen, and House didn't do a good job on that one, staying with the ball and keeping it in front. Opened up his feet, allowed him to get downhill.
Here's Murnin looking to work on Sinak, but dribbled it off his foot and coughs it up to Link.
That was a good help from Perry. It wasn't good spacing from Murnin. He was too close to the corner on that drive where Perry could kind of guard both his man and be able to get in there and dig at the ball.
So Easter triggers the Link Academy offense. Here's Gray Bear. Easter driving in. Oh, that's Davion Hannah. One-handed flush.
It looked like he was going up to lay that thing up, but the sea parted. Lane was open. He's like, why not go for the dunk?
The Alabama-bound guard flying high. And Williford fouled going up, which will lead to the first free throws of the day for AZ Compass. Well, this AZ Compass team actually towards the bottom in the EYBL in scoring, just 55 a game. They shoot it at 30% from three. It's a very defensive-oriented team. But Trey, they got playmakers. The House brothers, Murinen. And now they pulled to within two.
Their last matchup against Link, they shot 8 of 17 from three. But yeah, to your point, they have had their share of struggles on the offensive end. If Murinen doesn't have it going from the perimeter, and the House brothers can both be high-volume guys, they've struggled at times to get offensive production from their complementary pieces.
Officials discussing here. Well, here's one of those House brothers, Caden House. 13.6 points per game, ranks 7th in the EYBL. And a 5-star player who is ranked 15th in the junior class.
And the biggest area he needs to improve on his game is, in watching film on him, he kind of settles for a lot of floaters. He only shoots 42% in the painted area.
And then Easter with a travel forced by Caden House's defense. But you were saying on Caden?
Yeah, I mean, he's can really create his own shot. He's a 3-level scorer. He's capable of knocking down mid-range jump shots, as we saw early on. But I think for him, it's using his size and finishing strong. He's a guy that settles for a lot of floaters. Mentioned before, 42% in the painted area, which is not a good number even for a guard.
What does it tell you when you see that number?
Well, you want to be as a guard around 60%, and bigs at about 65%. So if you're under 50, that usually means you have a lot of area to work on, but that's going to make his numbers go up a little bit. I think that's technically a painted area shot.
And then fall away for Sinak, followed beautifully by Perry. And he got fouled doing it. So Trent Perry comes flying in. And this is one heck of an athletic play.
I think Perry's one of those guys that can kind of be a utility player. A little bit undersized as a forward at only 6'4", but he's a guy that can definitely do a little bit of everything for you on both ends of the floor and making energy plays.
Offers from Texas, SMU, New Mexico State, and more. At 6'5" out of Dallas, a sensational athlete who has Link Academy up 2. For AZ Compass, Fogel checking in for Randall. They've got 4.3 to cook something up. Good flow to this one so far, as Jeremiah Green lets it fly. And we go to the second quarter. Nice flow. Second matchup of the season between Link and AZ Compass. And the winner fights to see another day of the EYBL Scholastic Tournament. We're back with quarter 2 after this. Nike EYBL Scholastic is brought to you by Nike. This is Winning Basketball. And delivered by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavor. Chipotle. For real. Link Academy and AZ Compass, well, they met about a month ago. And AZ Compass took down Link by 17 points. How does that factor into a postseason game just a month later?
I think, like you mentioned earlier, I mean, it's all perspective, and I think each coach has a different philosophy in terms of you got to wipe everything out when you're talking about postseason play. But I think the best way is just to focus on the X's and O's and areas that you can improve upon from your last matchup and exploiting some of your opponent's weaker areas as well.
Pass is picked by Fogel. And Link coughs it up for the 5th time. That's been their weak area today. We'll see if AZ Compass can take advantage. Caden House weaving in. Murnin just keeps the handle. Some fancy dribbling for the Finnish star. House the spin. Here's Fogel. Fogel ties it at 15. The Gonzaga-bound guard with a nifty move.
And he's much more than a shooter. He's able to get downhill and finish and utilize his athleticism. Up against the shot clock, made something out of nothing there.
Kicked out of bounds off at Kalik House. Yeah, Davis Fogel, native of Anacortes, Washington. He's going to Gonzaga next year as the first American recruit for the Bulldogs.
That's crazy.
Since 2023. Their last class was just 4 international players. Here's Easter with a teardrop. Murnin chases it out of bounds. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. I mean, that's where the game is going. I mean, those guys are high IQ. I mean, we've seen the athleticism of guys like Giannis and Embiid, and the list kind of goes on and on. Luka Doncic.
A lot of people calling for an NBA All-Star game, USA versus World.
Yes.
And I don't blame them. Perry follows the miss, and long rebound to House. Kalik House off to Green. House weaving in with the right hand, tip back for Murnin.
They've been able to get in there at will into the painted area AZ Compass has with the dribble drive, and it hasn't been off of a lot of movement. It's just been one-on-one. League is really good one-on-one defensive team, but haven't really shown it much in this first half.
Now Sinak on Murnin, trying to squeeze his way through. And he'll go to the stripe.
That's his go-to move, that kind of shimmy, kind of the Kobe shimmy where you kind of fake the jab and continue to go right. Does that a lot on either block. Watching film on him, it's kind of his go-to to try to get downhill to his right hand.
They throw it right into him. It's interesting you mentioned as Perry just drops it in. That's the vision from Sinak.
Yeah, it's something you can't teach. I mean, a guy who's 6'10" at the high school level that can make that kind of pass.
Well, Chris Sinak without a bucket today, but finding other ways to contribute. As Fogel has it up top. Fogel, fall away, tough shot, is boarded by Hannah. High flying rebound. Here comes Link. Andre Iguodala Jr. just checked in. Senior guard and son of the multi-time champ, Andre Iguodala. Perry, spinning, driving, scoring.
That's a great job of being ready to play off the catch, off the pick and roll. Something that a lot of young players don't appreciate the value of. You want to have a bag, but the most important way to play is off the catch with limited dribbles.
3 in the corner, off for Fogel. Sinak scoops it. Last bucket from Trent Perry gives him a game-high 12. So more than half of Link's points as Peter Caffey calls time, and that sends us to a time. So Link Academy by 2, the play of Trent Perry raising some eyebrows.
I really like his game. I mean, this is just nice. One dribble left, crossover, straight to a spin. I mean, he got that move off in about 3 seconds. And that is basketball. It's not about pounding the ball at the top of the key, trying to get to your bag. It's right there, playing off the catch.
And back after this.
You can't be demanding. You can't be relentless. You can't put yourself first. So, put yourself first. You can't dominate. So dominate. You can't fill a stadium. So fill that stadium. You can't take credit. You can't speak up. You can't be ambitious. You can't have any fun. You can't be proud. You can't keep score. You can't stand out. Whatever you do, you can't win. So win.
So how would you describe the chicken to someone who had never tasted it?
Literally melt in your mouth tender. We don't have a freezer, you know? It's almost like a farmer's market. When you walk into the restaurant, you should hear the sizzle that you're hearing right now. Just sends all those waves up to your mouth.
You're making me hungry.
Let's take a look now at today's Chipotle Player Spotlight, and it's the Alabama-bound Davion Hannah. Chipotle order, extra queso on his chicken bowl, the white rice, lettuce, guac. Well, Chipotle introduced queso a couple of years ago, and Mr. Hannah taking full advantage of that.
Love that. A lot of protein in that bowl.
He'll need it. He's playing in the SEC next year.
Yeah, 100%. It's not a league for the weak. Absolutely not. You look at the SEC this year, I mean, they've had probably one of the best years the conference has ever had.
You're playing in the SEC. You need every ounce of protein you can get. And right out of the timeout, foul called against AZ Compass. Well, the play of Trent Perry has been delightful so far. 12 points. It's a game high.
That's a guy who only averages 3 points per game on the season, but you look at his numbers, I mean, he shoots almost 60% from the field, so it's a guy that is able to play off others, doesn't need the ball in his hands, and I think that's going to serve him well at the next level.
Here goes Easter. And they feed Sinak down low. Still scoreless. Nice reverse. 3 in the corner. Just off, but Andre Iguodala Jr. right there for cleanup.
And how about that pass off the double team from Sinak goes? We see House try to attack and full court transition situation, but it's not an easy pass to make from the left block to the right corner. And then if you're able to pass out of that double team, that opens up offensive rebounds because now everybody's out of place defensively.
Loose ball foul goes against Link on Legend Smiley. No points, 0 of 4 shooting so far for Chris Sinak. Early impressions?
Well, I've been impressed still with his ability to make passes. He has 2 assists, but he's had a couple hockey assists as well.
Yep.
Where he's been able to kind of initiate their offense from the painted area.
And Nicholas Randall taking contact. Foul on Iguodala. Sinak going to Houston. He'll play for Kelvin Sampson.
Yep.
I know Sampson's not going to take a player who's just one-dimensional.
Absolutely not. You have to defend at a high level. You have to be high character to play for Coach Sampson. And for any freshman, no matter how mature, and I think it's great that he's at Link Academy where he's kind of getting that college experience at the prep level. There's going to be a learning curve for him, nonetheless, playing for a coach like Coach Sampson.
Number 1 ranked center in the class, a huge get for a program that is very much on the rise. The Houston Cougars will contend for a national championship. Easter plunging in, finds the bottom of the net. So 5 points for Jerry Easter now. House, the step back, Really difficult shot. Here goes Easter, slicing through, a little too quick for his own good. And it's out of bounds to AZ Compass.
And that as a point guard is where you got to learn tempo and pace of the game. When to push the basketball and try to get something easy versus when to slow it down and get into half-court offense. And as the level of the game rises and the stakes are higher, more times than not, it's better when in doubt to slow down the tempo.
House moving nice and slow. Over Sinak, little strong. Hard to get a good shot over the 7-footer. Keontae Graybear with it.
Sinak has a mismatch with House on him.
And they're looking for him. Can't get the entry pass. Here's a Perry 3. Long rebound. Ends up with Graybear, then Sinak.
And that's what happens a lot of times is you're trying to provide help side on the post is you get outmatched in terms of offensive rebounding as that ball comes off long. See Link able to get their hands on the ball and you find the big fella for the finish.
So a timeout for AZ Compass as Link has gone on a 10-2 run to storm ahead. What for you has changed in these last couple of minutes?
I think it started defensively for Link. They've done a much better job, especially on the House brothers, of keeping them in front, making them take tough pull-ups. Then you're able to get out in transition and play against an unset defense. For this Link team, that's their calling card, is being able to be sound, physical on the defensive end. Because they don't have as many playmakers offensively, especially on the perimeter. So they have to get their offense from their defense.
Yeah, they only allow 53 points a game. Fourth best defense in the EYBL. And Link really dominating on the rebounds, 14-7. So winning in the front court, winning on the scoreboard has become down the wire in the second. Randall to Fogel. A 10-2 run for Link over the last 4 minutes. House, a long 2, maybe not the shot you want. Randall scoops the offensive board, and Randall, a little strong, but he gets a foul call against Link.
That was a good job of Randall splitting the double team after he got the offensive rebound. And right now I think AZ Compass has to have a little bit more movement offensively. They're kind of going 4 out and 1 in and just letting their guards drive. You have to provide some sort of screening, off-ball action. You get into some of your sets offensively to try to create advantages. It's hard against the stiff defense of Link to just try to break them down one-on-one.
Coach Chad Myers watching on as Randall hits them both. Myers, the first-year head coach, used to be an assistant at New Mexico State University, as that is ripped away by House. Fogel. House, nifty pass. Randall among 3 defenders. Missed from point blank, gets his own board. And now Green has a fresh 20 seconds still to work with.
And Link is pretty much switching 1 through 5 on ball screens.
Had the point guard on him there, but Randall called for the travel.
And Link is able to do that because, I mean, Jerry Easter is 6'3", but he has a strong build. So he's able to guard post players and just have good size. Trent Perry's able to guard post players as well. So that kind of makes you more of a one-on-one team when teams are able to switch 1 through 5.
Easter right to the can. Out of bounds to stay here. And when you can switch 1 through 5, what does that enable you to do?
Well, it doesn't put your defense in rotation where you're having to, put 2 on the ball on a ball screen or let a guard get downhill off a pick and roll. You're just kind of able to pass everybody off. And then if offensively you don't have a mismatch, then it's really hard for you to score.
And AZ Compass struggling to score. Just 2 points in the last couple of minutes. As Sanak's miss, boarded by Randall, and then he gives it away to AZ Compass. Vogel into the corner. And I think Green stepped out, yep. Another costly turnover for AZ Compass as it goes back to the Lions.
And again, when the House brothers don't have it going offensively, right now they're combined 3 of 10 from the field, 8 points, and they have, over this last maybe 7 or 8 minutes, have struggled to get to the painted area. It's an AZ Compass team that can struggle to generate offense.
Link tosses it away, and even on a possession like that, you see Link get to the painted area at will.
And they've had their own struggles offensively. I mean, you look at the score of this game right now, 25-21. Both these teams are pretty good defensively, but just maybe don't have as much depth offensively in terms of how many guys can create and break down off the dribble.
Both teams score fewer than 60 a game, and definitely destined for that so far. Sanak the rebound. And maybe one more possession for each team. Keontae Graybear up top for Link. Graybear rumbling in. Tip back off for Sanak. Now Perry going for it. And it's plucked away by House. There's Caden House with a miss. And then Murinen chases down the rebound. Rips it from Easter. They will call jump ball. And looks like it's headed to AZ Compass.
And see why that miss from Graybear is so important? Because now, as a big defensively, you're not going to respect the drive of the guard if they're not proven to be able to finish. And so that ultimately affects Sanak, because as a big, now I'm just going to provide just a little bit of help and make you score over the top until you prove it that you can, and not allow you to get it to the big fella.
And so now after the tie-up, shot clock's off, and AZ Compass can hold for the final shot. Looks like Jeremiah Green and company will do just that after an 8-point second quarter. Murinen. Patient. House with 3 seconds. The spin from point blank. It's off to halftime. So both teams struggle to score. AZ Compass, though, just a bit more. And with a spot in the second round against Wasatch on the line, we're at halftime with Link squeaking ahead of AZ Compass. When we come back, quarter 3 of the first round here at the EYBL Scholastic Tournament. You're watching the Nike EYBL Scholastic Conference Tournament at the Riverview Park Activity Center in North Augusta, South Carolina. Well, this has been a defensive bully ball type of game, kind of what we expected, Trey.
Yeah, I mean, both teams combined 2 of their last 17 from the field. But, I mean, you got to give the defenses a ton of credit. I mean, there's great half-court defense. You know, not allowing guys to get downhill into the painted area, especially in the half court. There's just been no advantages, no 2 on the ball where you're able to get rotations. It's a great defensive half.
It's impressive, no, that Link is up by 4. And their big man in the middle, Chris Anak, just 2 points on 1 of 7 shooting. I know you've been impressed with how he's done it other than scoring.
Yeah, I think shot selection is big with him. But, yeah, he's done a really good job. I mean, AZ Compass has brought double teams, even triple teams at times. And so I think he's trying to get the ball more on the perimeter. And so I think that's kind of exposing an area of his game that he can work on, as a lot of teams go 5 out nowadays in modern basketball. And definitely going to have to do it at the next level when he goes to Houston.
Here we go, half 2. Winner faces Wasatch tomorrow, the number 1 seed here in the EYBL Scholastic Conference Tournament. Sanak on Murnin, falling down, able to get it out.
I didn't like how that first dribble went away from the basket. You want to provide some contact.
Well, now it's towards the basket, and it's off the glass for 2.
He must have heard me. He's got an earpiece in. He heard me coach him up on that one.
Can I get an earpiece? Have you just guide me through life?
You don't want that, Sam.
Sam, take this parking spot. And then House struggling, gets it out to his brother, Kalik House. There's a foul off the ball. You're saying I wouldn't want the earpiece?
No,
the
you wouldn't.
Trey Demp's life advice?
No, you wouldn't.
Dude, I'd take Trey Demp's life advice all day. Maybe I wouldn't stumble saying it if I had that. Hey, so AZ Compass could use some advice. Scoreless in the last 3 minutes, 1 for their last 11. They've got firepower with Murnin and the House brothers. But Murnin on cue tosses it away, but then Easter loses it.
One thing I've noticed watching AZ Compass, it seems like Murnin and the House brothers are on 2 different pages. There needs to be some sort of action with them together, playing some sort of 2-man or 3-man game with those 3 guys.
3 of the most talented players in the country, but you're right, looks at times a little disjointed. Here's Kalik House for 3, but as he shot it, Murnin committed an offensive foul.
But Sam, I think both teams might have an earpiece, because we saw just on that both House brothers involved in a pick and roll into a rescreen from Murnin to the House brothers. And so that was the first time that I've seen this game where all 3 of those guys work together. It's just a moving screen that resulted in the turnover, but it was still a good shot.
They all got the earpiece. There goes Hannah with a miss. Randall scoops it. AZ Compass looking to get it going. And now 1 for their last 13. There's a run the other way for Perry. A little bit out of control, and it's going back to the Dragons.
That almost looked like he changed sports in the middle of his drive.
To football?
To football, yeah.
Thought so.
Like he kind of took that ball on his hip and just went straight into the chest of the defender.
6'5", 200 pounds. Maybe a tight end type of build. House is on Sanak. Now Jaden Vance, and a turnover. Keontae Graybear the miss. Perry can't follow it. And 2 minutes, no points for either team in the second half. House changes that. And a foul.
And that's exactly what I'm looking for from Caden House, is embracing contact. Look at this frame. He's 6'3", wiry, strong, goes straight into the body of Hannah and is able to get the and one. There's so many drives of his where he avoids contact. That one does the exact opposite and gets rewarded for it.
So House ends the big scoring drought. Now with a team high 8 points. And he leaves one on the line. 5-star recruit, ranked 3rd at the shooting guard position. Gray Bear to Hannah. Working on House. Hannah squeaks right by him and then gets fouled.
Man, if you haven't seen Eddie House highlights, that man could shoot it. It was one of the leaders in points in the game at Arizona State. It was just sort of an under-the-radar NBA career, but was a role player for several years on some high-level championship caliber teams.
Right, an important piece on some of the best teams of the 2000s. Easter falls into trouble. House plucks it, gets it to his brother, who, as he falls down, throws it off Sanak, then it, I think, hit his knee and out of bounds.
I think both ways, when the guards get into the painted area, there has to be a little bit more finesse. Like when you watch a guy like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, when he gets into the painted area, there's a change of pace, there's euros. There's one speed with both of these guards once they get into the painted area, and oftentimes it leads to turnovers or tough shots.
And neither team shooting very well tonight, and this quarter has been a shooting disaster for both teams. Green continues that. Here goes Easter now for Link. Speeding down the floor. Jerry Easter the miss. Perry for cleanup.
I'm telling you, I'm calling it right now, Sam. Trent Perry is going to be the glue guy of a championship level team when he gets to the collegiate level.
Today he has been flying all over a game high 14.
It's a nice follow there. We get the authority with the slam. It's a really good basketball player.
Perry a show as we step aside in the EYBL Scholastic tourney.
You're really making all of this by hand.
Oh yeah. The avocados are hand mashed, the chips are hand tossed, and everything is made fresh.
You make it fresh every day.
Yes, every day. The Chipotle way is we make it fresh every day.
Sounds delicious.
Link Academy by 6. Winner will face Wasatch tomorrow, second round of the EYBL Scholastic tournament. It's good to have you with us. Sam Brief, Trey Debs. Happy hump day. Well, Link has been able to muzzle a potent AZ Compass attack. The Dragons have had nothing offensively.
Yeah, it's been rough. Crazy Compass shooting 29% from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. It's a game that's featured only 2 3-point field goals made.
Two teams are combined 2 for 11. Our first game, Oak Hill against Lehigh, was 3-point shootout.
Yeah, I mean, Oak Hill had 11 threes.
Yeah, and a loss. In that game, Lehigh stormed back a late 20-3 run led by Kyan Anthony and the two Mingo brothers. They booked their seat with Brewster tomorrow afternoon in round 2. If any lower-seeded team in this tournament can make a run to the championship, it might be that Lehigh team that has now won 8 straight conference games.
Yeah, that's tough to be a 2 seed and play a team that's won 8 in a row.
And Brewster gets the tough draw. Kalek House for 3. Off the front end, continues the trend. Second life now for AZ Compass. Here's House with the spin. Throws it up and a bit strong. So in the third quarter, AZ Compass just 1 of 6 shooting. 2 points as they trail by 6. Easter, what a spin from point blank.
That was a beautiful move from Easter. I was going to say that I felt like he could have attacked downhill. The big didn't really show. I thought he had a clear lane to the basket. Was still able to use the leverage of his defender to spin off and get to a nice, comfortable mid-range jump shot.
Jerry Easter now with 9. House looking for Randall. Perry came flying in, and it's Lions ball. Easter to Perry. Flying into the hoop. There's your guy, Trent Perry.
I mean, you would not be able to tell if this man averages only 3 points per game on the season. He's arguably been the best player on the floor.
He's got 16, nearly half his team's points. Fogle runs into some trouble and called for the travel. It's the 9th AZ Compass turnover. This second half has been an offensive disaster for AZ Compass.
There's just really no flow. You know, it's kind of been a struggle of like, what kind of sets do I want to run offensively to put my guys in the best possible situations to be successful, whether it's pick and roll or throwing the ball into the post, as we see the replay again of a nice take from Perry in transition, but the team in Arizona Compass has to find their footing and find some sort of set that they can run to create advantages.
Some cleanup duty. Well, this is a rematch of the 2023 title game in which Link Academy took down AZ Compass and the Chipotle Nationals. And the winner of this tournament gets the auto bid to this year's Nationals, which are next month just outside Indianapolis. It's poked away, then Randall gets it back, and Nicholas Randall, the flush.
Randall does a really good job of hustling after loose balls, whether it's off an offensive rebound or off a pass, but he has to do a better job of sealing his man off in post-ups.
There goes Gray Bear. He was wide open. Let's see if AZ Compass has a run in them. Murinen. Now Green. Left-handed drive, teardrop, just off. But they'll call goaltend. I think Sanak with a hand on the basket.
On that possession, Easter sits at about 6'3", was switched off onto Randall. So Easter was the big man, in theory, that was guarding the painted area. So that was a good recognition to drive the ball with no shot blockers present.
2 to go in the third. It's still a 2-possession game. Link's been unable to pull away from a really flat offensive team. Sanak stuck in the corner. Just 4 points tonight. And he throws it away. House the pick. AZ Compass, as dry as the offense has been, just 1 run away from potentially tying this. Murrin in the deep 3. Rattles out, Randall the board. Now he's 1-on-2, and he gets fouled by Sanak. Nicholas Randall's rebounding has been a key.
I like the roll and replace action that they just ran there, where you have Randall, powerful 6'8" center, rolling to the basket, and you get Murnin coming up top to shoot the 3.
Now a timeout with 1:20 left in the third. And you mentioned some of that action, some of the possibilities for AZ Compass. You zoom out with this team, I know you've seen a little bit of a disjointed energy at times. What do you want to hone in on in these next 9 minutes?
Yeah, I think if you're AZ Compass, it's, you know, I think finding sets that puts your guys in positions to be successful. We saw AZ Compass go to the zone defensively. They've done a really good job. I mean, if you hold a team to 33 points, past the midway point of the third quarter. You're doing your job on the defensive end, but it's just been a struggle scoring in the painted area. A certain point where you have to make those adjustments as a guard and be able to get in there and finish strong.
Hey, some faithful members of our team. We have a wonderful crew both on the ground there in South Carolina and all over the country putting on this tournament, this league. As Murnin cuts to the basket, and what a feed from Green.
That's one guy that needs the ball more. I mean, he's 7 field goal attempts, only averaging about 7.5 points on the season, but he's one of the guys that can create advantages offensively.
Just a 4-point game, minute to go in the third. House able to rip it from Easter, but then he fouled him. Second foul on Caden House. Both teams struggling to score this quarter. Just 8 points for each side, but Link tiny bit smoother.
You got to feel good, though, if you're Coach Caffey. I mean, both the House brothers are combined 4 of 17 from the field, and you're only down 4 points.
They've done a nice job on Sanak, who gets rid of it, and then Randall the steal. Green storming in. With the left hand, it's a bit off, and Sanak inhales the rebound.
Again, that's another drive where you're fading away from the basket. It's a low percentage shot. That's almost like a mid-range pull-up.
Sanak for 3. Little strong. He can hit that. And then Murnin tosses it. I think he stepped out before, so they'll say Link ball. Good effort, though, for the Finnish junior. Mika Murnin, a 5-star already. Offers pouring in all over the nation. Everywhere from Duke to Bama to Kentucky and UCLA. If you're a blue blood, you've probably offered Mika Murnin.
Yes. And for good reason. I mean, you see, 6'9". I mean, his skill, his ability to shoot, and the fact that he has a toughness about him shows that he's ready to play and contribute right away at the Power 5 level.
Shot clock off now for Easter. USC bound point guard with Green all over him. He slices in and lost it. Green. Pass picked by Perry at the buzzer. And 4-point Link lead will go into the fourth. The winner gets Wasatch tomorrow. It's the Nike EYBL Scholastic Tournament. And round 1 will come to a climax after this. Nike EYBL Scholastic is brought to you by Nike. This is Winning Basketball and delivered by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavor, Chipotle for real. Well, if our first game of the afternoon, Oak Hill against Lehigh, was the high-flying three-point shootout, this one is a rock fight. Link Academy up 4 on AZ Compass with a shot at Wasatch on the line.
I love it, though. I mean, this is what a lot of college games are like. So this is preparing them for the next level. Not every game is going to be pretty. You got to be able to get it done in a gritty, physical type of game. It shows where your mental toughness is as a player.
That's a great point. So many college games, perhaps slower, more defensive than this.
And star-studded ones, too.
Right. Green gets fouled. He's one of the guys playing high-level Power 5 hoops next year, going to Texas A&M. Big win last night for the Aggies over one-ranked Auburn. Team that's played in a lot of games like this.
And to that point, Sam, if I'm a decision maker, I know a lot of these guys are committed and know where they're going, but some of those guys who are uncommitted, like I'm looking to see in these type of games, who's going to stick with it? Who's going to continue to battle on the defensive end? Who's going to continue to be aggressive and confident offensively?
And Green makes it a one-possession game. What are some of the intangibles you look for? Right, body language.
Yeah.
Where are your eyes going?
Yeah, I think it's the whole gamut. I mean, it's body language. It's confidence in your abilities, right? Because in these dogfight type games, there's definitely, as a player, especially an offensive player, moments where you kind of question and doubt yourself a little bit.
After a steal, here comes House. Maybe Link starting to doubt, question a little bit. AZ Compass could take the lead here. Murinen. There's some contact under the basket, and officials will tag Andre Iguodala for the foul. So quietly, an 8-0 run over the last 5 minutes for AZ Compass. Link Academy's last basket was at the 4-minute mark of the third quarter.
AZ Compass, 8-0 run, but one of their last 8. That's just the type of game it's been.
And then they throw it away. That kind of game.
And that's exactly what I'm looking for in terms of, it's a tough game. It's physical. That's where the focus comes down. That's where the fundamentals come in. That's where the fundamentals and the focus need to rise in these type of environments.
Right, you got to be at your sharpest right here, right now. Extra pass, Iguodala, the 3. Andre Iguodala Jr. gives Link its first basket in almost 6 minutes. And now just about 6 minutes to go. Kalick House. Here comes the screen. House driving in. Can't hit the teardrop. Link ball again.
Looks like he might have caught a cramp.
Yeah, right away massaging his calves. That's Kalick House. Now an athlete knows a cramp when he sees one. Right to the bench. Fogel replaces him.
And one of the things that Link tries to do defensively, they try to, on every type of pick and roll, they try to keep the ball on one side. And that was a good job of Kalick House not allowing that. And so the big is already on the right side of the floor. So if you attack left, you have a wide open lane. But just again, being able to finish in the painted area and going up strong and not always going for the floater.
A lot of missed floaters today.
Yes, tons.
Easter. Iguodala. And now Hannah. 5 on the shot clock for Easter. He's got no time. The heave is an air ball. And a shot clock violation for a point guard who I don't think was aware of the clock.
Again, that's where the focus and the attention to detail in these grinded out games, because they're not the sexiest game. It's not the game that you know, where there's 20 balls and a bunch of threes. It's where you got to dig in deep into your gut and say, you know what? This game hasn't gone my way offensively, but it's all about winning at this point. It's not about my stats.
So the only guy who could say it has gone his way offensively is Trent Perry for Link.
And what kind of player is he? He's a grinded out, dirty, you know.
Exactly. This is his kind of game. Perry, 16 points. Grinding. House and the foul.
Love it.
Sanak got him. It's a one-possession game.
We've seen House settle for the floater so much. Just comes off of this thing, attacks through the contact first initially on Legend Smiley, gets through that, and then attacks over the big fella. That's what he has to do more of to open up his game.
And he gets Chris Sanak to commit his 4th foul. So in danger of fouling out with 5 minutes left.
And so that's who AZ Compass should go at every single time down the floor. It has to involve Sanak because he doesn't want to pick up that 5th foul.
And he's on the bench right now. So
when he comes back in,
his coach is protecting him. We'll have a immediate timeout at the under 4. So presumably just a minute without him. We've seen the foul game play a monumental factor today. Ethan Mbako in our first game fouled out for Oak Hill with 7 minutes left. Felt like the nail in the coffin for that team. Holding on by a thread. Link up 2. Here's Easter. Now Hannah. And Legend Smiley. Bit disjointed here. Gathered in the corner to a cutting Perry. And he's fouled. So the star of the night, Trent Perry, to the stripe. So tell me what you love about Trent Perry.
Okay, I think it's just, you know, he's not going to be a guy throughout the course of his career that's going to have the ball in his hands, create off pick and rolls, get isolation post-ups. And what happens a lot of times is guys who do get that at the high school level, they come into these college environments and all of a sudden you're the 5th, 6th, 7th option and you don't know how to play without the basketball in your hands. And I think that's not going to be an issue for Trent Perry. And you look at his size as well. At 6'4", he's strong, kind of has a college body already. So, I mean, you look at his offer list, TCU, Texas, Texas A&M. If he were to go to any of those places, I think you could plug him in off the bench and he would show significant value.
Number 21 ranked small forward in the junior class. Perry came into the game averaging 3.4 points per game. And this evening with 16, 7 of 10 shooting.
And you look at his numbers from his local high school at Frisco, Texas. He only averaged 13 points per game and 6 rebounds. So that shows you right there that that's, you know, he's a guy that plays off the ball.
And a grinder like him, as you said, perfect for a game like this.
Yes.
This game has been a rock fight. Teams combining to shoot just 3 for 17 from 3. Not much scoring, a lot of turnovers. Whichever team can grind it out will win in the end. See the difference between tonight and this season. Wild for Perry. Fogle into the corner. House, the 3. Boarded by his brother. Ends up with Caden. And he gets fouled. So Caden House back to the foul line. As AZ Compass looks to continue what's been a slow, plodding, methodical comeback.
Their last matchup against the Link, Caden House was 9 of 12 from the free throw line. So, guy that's definitely able to seek out contact. We see him badly miss the first one. But sometimes I feel like as I'm evaluating and watching him that he's a little bit too reliant upon the referees.
Trying too hard maybe to draw that contact.
Yeah.
Converts at the stripe, one possession game. Trey alluding to the February 7th matchup. It was AZ Compass by 17 over Link. Today, Link by 3, halfway through the fourth quarter. Winner faces the 1 seed, Wasatch Academy, tomorrow.
See AZ Compass in a zone now.
Looking to pick apart the zone. It's Easter with a miss. House the board, and AZ Compass can tie it. Going right at him. A foul called before that alley-oop.
Those are the worst ones.
And Mika ain't happy.
That's 2
Look
points you're
says it
taking off
all.
the board.
And at 3:33, we come to our final media timeout, which we believe means Chris Sinak will sub back in for the final stretch. As we're within a possession, Link and AZ Compass looking to stay alive in the conference tournament. Home stretch when we come back.
Sure, I was the first pick, the rookie to watch, and the back-to-back All-Star. But to get even better, I had to get real with myself. I got real about how I showed up. I got real about how I trained. I got real about what I ate. The results, something about this season, man, it just feels different.
AZ Compass has been on the comeback trail, down by as much as 10 in the second half, and now within 1 possession. Final 3 minutes start now.
I mean, how about this? The fact that we have only had 3 made 3-point field goals in this game.
In 2025.
In 2025. I mean, this isn't the early 2000s, late 90s basketball. But it's been fun. It's been fun to watch both these teams get after it defensively and how well oiled they are on that end of the floor.
Our first game of the day, Oak Hill against Lehigh, featured 17 made threes. Today, 3. So out of the timeout, Jeremiah Green at the stripe, and he leaves one on the line. That's a backbreaker late in a game like this. EYBL Scholastic Tournament. The winner of the tournament gets the auto bid to Chipotle Nationals. And the winner of this game gets a date with 1-seeded Wasatch tomorrow night. So out of the timeout, Trent Perry with it. Chris Sinak just checked back into the game, and that pass was intended for Sinak. Instead, it's AZ Compass ball. And then stolen right back by Hanna. He gets fouled right away by House.
That's something that these guys are going to learn as they get more experience playing high-level basketball. It doesn't always have to be the home run play. We saw on both ends where it had to be a scoring pass. Sometimes the pass back out to the perimeter to set up your offense is the best play.
Patience pays. Here's Graybear. Down to Easter, blocked by Murinen. AZ Compass a chance to tie. House cuts in, blocked. Hanna with the rejection. Now it's Link's turn, and Sinak with a grown man slam. The Houston-bound big man puts his team up 2 possessions. And AZ Compass now desperate for a basket. Vogel spinning his way in. And they reset. Back to Green. 5 seconds to shoot. Sanak comes out on him. The 7-footer pries it away, and a shot clock violation. Well, Link rocking and rolling on all cylinders. The rejection, and then take me through this.
This is good, simple basketball. Get to a jump stop. Jerry Easter, and then you find the big fella. That's just good. That's stuff that you work on in the beginning of practice. 2-on-1 basketball, jump stop, bounce pass straight into a layup.
Under 2 to go. Link has had the lead the entire second half. Sanak, the drive, and fouled going up.
One thing I like that Link has done is they're flashing Jerry Easter into the middle of the zone, and oftentimes we've seen teams, they put their big man in the middle. I always believe it's best to put your better decision makers in the middle of that zone where they can either shoot it themselves for a catch and shoot mid-range from the free throw line, or they can kick it out like that one to open guys on the perimeter, and Sanak did a really good job of attacking the closeout.
He drills his first free throw of the day. And Sanak had a potential 3-point look, but passed it up.
Yep.
Drove inside and now gets rewarded with free throws.
And had a really good possession on the other end.
Yeah.
Where at the end of the clock was switched on to a guard, stayed in front, didn't allow the guard to get past him with the dribble drive and forced a contested 3 he was able to get his hands on.
Leads out to 6. AC Compass needs a bucket on a night featuring 30% shooting for the Dragons. Who did they go to? Probably this guy, Caden House, their top scorer. Here's his brother, Kalik, 4-3. Woo. Timeout Link in a 1-possession game.
So Coach Caffey running a pin down for Kalik House, who's a 36% 3-point shooter. You get a screen on the ball, then you get a pin down action. It's a great screen set by Nick Randall to free up Kalik House.
Well, Caden might be the more explosive scorer, but as you allude to, Kalik, the more polished 3-point shooter. That's a great use of their skills.
So he's made now 18 threes in the Scholastic League.
And the next generation watching on. Pajamas and all.
Love it. Man, I miss being a kid, being able to dress like that. Well, sometimes I still do, but
You can get away with it, Trey. Come on. Pajamas are cool again. Make them cool.
not pajama sweats.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Whatever you set your mind to, my friend. Okay, link
I don't
ball.
think that's what the quote is for.
But whatever you set your mind to, go lounge in some comfy wear. Hey, so link ball up 3. This is a monster possession.
With the zone, I'm imagining that they're going to do the same thing and flashing Jerry Easter to that post once he gets the ball out of his hands.
Sanak in the middle of the zone, draws the foul. Link not in the bonus yet, so they'll throw it in again with a fresh 30. And Sanak game planning.
That's where I want to see Jerry Easter be able to kind of quarterback that a little bit more. Understanding that, look, we've had success with me in that position, so once I get the ball out of my hands, I want to be the one that's the decision maker in the middle of the zone.
And next foul means free throws. Both teams have entered the bonus. 1 minute left in this round 1 game. Against the zone, Easter spins in. Now Sanak, the 7-footer with a step back, drills it. What a shot for Chris Sanak. He has been quiet almost the entire game offensively. But a player like this heats up late.
And it starts with the paint touch from Jerry Easter. And then Sinak catches that ball in the corner, ready to attack.
And Chris Sinak, who had no points for the great majority of the beginning of the game, now with 10. How impressive has he been in the fourth?
Well, he stuck with it. I mean, we saw the possession where he did a really good job of staying in front of the basketball, and then he runs the floor. He does the little things, right? And when you talk about him playing for Houston and Coach Sampson a year from now, he's going to be primed and ready just from the coaching, the experience that he's had at Link to have a successful season.
Coach Sampson, he doesn't care if you score. He cares if you play defense, right? Chris Sinak does that.
Yeah, he does, and he's able to guard multiple positions. He can guard a point guard. He can guard down low in the block in the painted area.
And in the painted area is where Link has dominated. 28 of their 44 points in the paint. And they're up 5, 45 seconds left. If they hold on, they get a date with the 1 seed, Wasatch Academy, tomorrow night. AZ Compass needs a bucket, and a kick ball goes against Perry. It's been a slow bleed for Link, who has held the lead since early in the second quarter. AZ Compass not able to shoot back into this game. Just 32% as a team and 20% from 3. It's a must-make possession. House, a deep 3. Way off the mark, Perry the rebound, and that might be it. Link Academy seems destined to keep playing in the EYBL Scholastic tournament. It's all but official as Mernon fouls Sinak. And AZ Compass, a team that finished 9th in the EYBL, 5-6 record. They will likely see their tournament run come to an end after just 1 game.
You got to give Link a ton of credit. It's been a tough game offensively for the most part, but how they've continued defensively to play gritty, tough nose, disciplined. For the most part, I felt like in the first quarter of the game, they didn't do a good job of keeping AZ Compass out of the paint through the dribble drive. The guards for AZ Compass were able to get downhill at will, and they shut off the water hose quickly, and it's been tough for AZ Compass all night.
No water in the hose.
None.
Just 39 points as Link calls one more timeout. So it seems Link is off to face Wasatch tomorrow night. That'll be a rematch of a January 3rd meeting. Wasatch took them down by 15 points. And that'll be an entertaining one to go right after Brewster faces Lehigh. Saw Lehigh with a comeback win earlier today against Oak Hill. The 2 games today, the play-in games of this tournament, could not have been more different.
Yeah.
Had an offensive explosion and then just a rock fight.
And it's great. I mean, because a lot of times at the high school level, you see a lot of teams who aren't committed to the defensive end. And so you look at AZ Compass and Link, and you know, you could tell these teams are well coached. They have scouting reports, personnel, recognition on the defensive end.
And one more possession for AZ Compass, coast to coast. Green doesn't have it, pretty much symbolizes how this game has gone on a tough shooting night. And with 3 seconds left, tie up under the basket. So tonight, the winners, Lehigh and Link. They both live to see another day, while AZ Compass and Oak Hill have their days come to a close. So Link Academy, a defensive masterclass, muzzles AZ Compass and they face the 1 seed Wasatch tomorrow night. Let's take a look at tonight's Nike Player of the Game. Trey, you were loving this guy from the opening tip. 18 points tonight for Trent Perry.
He's just an enforcer. You look at his ability to mix up the game defensively, guard multiple positions, bring his toughness and physicality. He's a guy that only averages 3 points per game, but had 18 here tonight.
Well, they didn't score too much, only 46 points, but when you give up under 40, you don't need much firepower. Link Academy behind Perry's 18 points, Senak's 12, and Easter's 9 books their date with Wasatch tomorrow. Great to have you with us tonight for the first 2 games of the EYBL Scholastic Tournament. And tomorrow will be loaded. Let's take a look at the bracket. You know, Lehigh and Brewster, Lincoln, Wasatch. How about that? IMG, Sunrise Christian, and then Montverde against CIA, Bella Vista. Tomorrow's loaded in the quarters.
It's the best of the best. I mean, this is the best month for basketball fans with, you know, this and college basketball it's championship time, and it's going to be about the little things, the details and the execution.
It is indeed championship time. Conference tournament season, and so great to have you with us tonight, alongside my great partner and friend Trey Demps, and our wonderful crew, Chad Boxenbaum, Sam Kaiser, Paul Bronstetter. I'm Sam Brief saying so long from the EYBL Scholastic Conference Tournament. Talk to you tomorrow.